Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's that time, it's tarot time with Cindy. And it's general, it's collective. It may or may not resonate. If it does, I'm glad that we connected. If it does not, hopefully next time. This is an interesting message. So, I am looking at the energy of someone here who I would describe as identifiable by many, but known by few. Okay, like this is, yes, identified by many, but truly known by few here. So there's something. All right, this is the card that comes out as kind of like the point of your soul's journey. This could be something very significant in your entire lifetime, in this lifetime that we're in right now talking about, or it could be a very significant point for you at this time. Restless, independence, and appraisal. Now, it's interesting that you get that card because like who you really are, at least how it's coming up right now, is the magnifier card. So this is somebody who pays attention to details. This is somebody who looks at the fine print. This is somebody who does not typically sign any type of contract without sitting down and reading every single line of it, even if it's like, I don't know, 20 pages long. I don't know. Somebody who really looks at the details. And if there's something that you're dealing with before you take action to change it, get involved with it, adjust it or whatever, you look at the details, you understand exactly what your position is in something. So even if you're not necessarily like that with contracts or written words, you definitely pay attention to the details. I hadn't planned on using the Archangel deck, but when the cards came out that did, I kind of felt like, you know what, I want to see what Archangel energy sort of supports this person. You have some pretty strong energy. You have Archangel Raziel, spiritual understanding. So this is coming in with the Traveler card. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. This is like almost to me the energy of like someone on pilgrimage, whether that's physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. It definitely is. And there is a sense here, though, with these cards, that this is also someone who goes from one place to another. Right? Like I'm trying to think of different ways that could be. This could be somebody who does, like, you could do audits. So you go from one place to another. Every day could be a little bit different. You could be a traveling salesman. You could be, I don't know. It's almost like you get to a place and then you're there and then you go. Just like going to the grocery store. I got to a place and here I am. Now I'm done. I'm going home. I mean, maybe it's like that, right? Like maybe you are. Maybe you're also living somewhere where there's a lot of travel involved to get from one place to another. You know, some places, like some communities, you need a car. You can't survive without a car because it's like 10 miles away to get to a store. I mean, it could be something like that. But I feel like it's a little bit deeper here. So, and that's what I mean. It's almost like maybe too, like if you are somewhere, you spend enough time that you become recognizable. But yet nobody really knows you. Or I don't want to say nobody. There's probably a very select few that do know you. Okay? And all right, here's what's also interesting. I don't want to discredit any spiritual connection that you have, because you do have one. You have a very good spiritual connection, and I feel like you really do understand kind of the patterns in life and how to identify what's going on around you based on that. And it's like this kind of reminds me of someone, like, I like the archetypal energy of this. Like let's say like a couple thousand years ago, this is almost somebody who would travel by horse or steed or goat or I don't know what, go from one town to another, selling some type of wares or selling, you know, maybe they make pottery or they've got it's like there's something of value that brings people in. They spend some time there, but you know, it's almost a word might get around that, oh, you know what? This person has some interesting information. A lot of times they know what's going on, like, and it would make sense even too. 20 counties down the road, or whatever, you know, kind of civilizations existed or how they were defined. And you would be someone who would have some type of information about this. You may not readily share it depending on who you would be dealing with. Like there's something about that too, like very discerning. This is a very discerning energy. And I feel like it's based on patterns that you've seen. So you have the spiritual connection, but there's a real practical energy that comes in with this and this discernment. It's definitely, and it could even be like the spiritual truth of things, because there could be certain truths that we kind of develop and understand based on what society tells us it should be, or what this must be, or how this would be identified based on this pattern or behavior. But then it's almost like there's a spiritual context to it where you see something a little more deeply. But you look like really closely at details. You pick up nuances that a lot of people miss. Okay, so this is interesting because then the balloon card comes in for kind of like the perception that people would have of you or about you. And that is kind of like an elevated perspective, right? Like, again, it's coming in like, oh, this person knows things. This person knows things. Depending on the person, some people might be picking this up like, oh, I feel like this person has a spiritual connection. This person has a really good sixth sense. Other people might just be like, oh, this person must be really book read, like, you know, they have some type of knowledge here, or they've got a lot of experience. They really know what's going on. And some people might see a little bit of this, a little bit of each in you, right? But I do feel like, and generally speaking, most people really see you as having like a higher perspective here. Really, even perhaps being able to see like 10, 15 steps ahead of yourself. Okay. Like that's actually, yeah, probably also the energy of a really good chess player here. It's just never been good at that. So I kind of find this interesting. I find this really admirable. Just to be honest. I'm terrible at chess. Like, oh, I'm winning right now. Oh, now I'm done. That's it. So, but this is like, you see like 10, 15, 20 steps ahead of you. And right, like, how would you see that? Because you're elevated here. Like, you're literally, compared to somebody who's walking the trail along there, they can't see what's over the hill. But if you're in a balloon, oh, I can see what's over that hill. I know what's coming next. I know how to prepare myself. People see this in you. What people misunderstand about all of this, though, interesting, and I'm not even sure I understand it fully. I want to look in the book on this one again. I feel like there's something more here than just like pearls of wisdom. I get this from this card a lot. It's gifts. It's, I think there's femininity associated with this. Where's the book? Let me just look real quick. Number 51. Okay, this is about miracles, pleasant surprises, difficult tasks, unusual situations, fate, isolation, loneliness, justice, femininity, soul, purity. Okay, I kind of want to say too, there is a sense I can pick that up with this traveler, what I was talking about, and this card for what people misunderstand about you. I do feel like there is some type of loneliness. I could see that. Some type of loneliness and isolation connected to your fate here, where you are identified by many, but known by very few. Femininity, soul, purity of thoughts, wisdom. So, right, well, that's true. I don't think people quite understand why you're as wise as you are. Innocence, modesty, perfection, pregnancy, gift, and jewel. So this card is about set big goals for yourself, and that's wonderful. But know that you will have to go through a long journey to succeed. Oh, a long journey to success. Okay, so that's interesting. But you are on that long journey. You might even be approaching some type of crossroad here. I think you are. I do actually think you are. And we're going to get to that card in a minute, because the advice towards what your next move should be is really, really interesting. Okay, how this affects your image. I love this card. She's just the sassiest little thing. It's leaving. Don't you just love that swagger? You can see she's got a swagger. She knows she looks good, and she's done with whatever's going on there. I'm too good for that situation. I need to go do me things. She's so cute. I swear to goodness, she really is. I don't know, maybe you are kind of cute in your own little way there. Maybe, there could be a lot of things that you've walked away from. She's she's totally got, yep. Admire this while it walks away, okay? So cute. I see this little girl who kind of knows her value, and it could be your own inner child, whether you're masculine or feminine. But the scenario that I kind of pick up with this that is really kind of cute is she knows her value, and she's been at the park, and she's been picking flowers and doing fun things, and a whole bunch of little boys have come around, and she's paid them a bit of attention. I paid them a bit of attention. But now I need to go and do my things. But then it's also almost like, right, like, because little kids don't always know the appropriate way to deal with and handle what's the word I'm looking for? To deal and handle with, like a situation change. It's like, it's time to go to school. It's time to leave the park. It's time to this. Like, there can be like a little bit of misbehavior. I don't know. Maybe somebody tugging her hair. Maybe somebody deciding, well, if she's going to walk away, I want to keep her in this space. So I'm gonna tell her dress looks silly. Like, it almost, like, there's some feeling here of maybe like energy can kind of become negative. It can almost kind of become a little bit negative. Because, well, the positive isn't getting attention anymore, so I'm going to kind of gravitate to anything here. What can I do to keep her? And she's just like, no, watch me. Watch this. Walk away. No. She's cute. She's really cute. But so I don't know, like what I just described there could have been things like that where there is a lot of value in what I see here on the table. I think you have a lot of value. And some people may feel a little bit perturbed when that value is leaving. And their behavior might suddenly change on you when it's kind of like, well, I need to do something for myself now. I need to go. Or, I gotta, the sun is setting and I gotta get my flower into the water. I gotta go put my flower in the water. I don't have time for this. And then, no, I don't want you to leave. Or, well, that's not good because that's not serving my purpose. I wanted to get to know you better or whatever, whatever way that could be. But so there's an image here of leaving, but that's that's predictable with you. That is predictable there because the traveler, what does the traveler do? The traveler comes and the traveler goes. That's what happens here. And I do feel like you do this on your own terms with the spiritual understanding coming in with this, because he's also kind of like, he is looking up into the sky. He's following something more than just his own thoughts. And he's also following more than just what people around him may even be saying. Okay, so some people have seen you walking away, you're leaving, but you come and go. Like, that's the predictable thing that I'm getting here, though. But you do, okay, so, but, okay, that's interesting. So having, setting some pretty high goals for yourself. Could be like, once I've made that achievement, I'm going on to the next. I'm not sticking around, honey. Made that achievement. I've garnered that success. All right, everybody, have a good week. Have a good life. Arrivederci. So, give that too. Like, it's like once you've met a certain expectation of yourself or accomplished something, it's on to the next thing. It's on to the next thing. And when it's on to the next thing, you are taking with you everything that you've already learned. Like, you do seem to also probably have a very high capacity for maybe even some of you a bit of a photographic memory. And I'm not just seeing like the things that you read, but the things that you experience and your recall in that. So yeah, that could even also be why you are associated with coming and going. Because you have, people don't understand, people may not also understand what goals it is that you have for yourself, why you try to attain such high goals, or I don't know. Okay, so your soul's hidden agenda here is very interesting. It's the Scarecrow card. The Scarecrow is really associated with protection. Protecting what it is that you've harvested. Protecting what it is that you've been working on all season, right? Like, so even the season of your life. Protecting your harvest. That's interesting too, because who you really are is like really identifying the tiny details and things and the fine print. So, I mean, there could even be something legal that some of you are dealing with here, and it is about protecting that, and you're protecting it through the letter of the law, or through the letter of some type of agreement. Yeah, but that's your soul's agenda here, is to really, a hidden agenda, is to protect what it is that you acquire through your steadfast effort. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Because I am seeing somebody who does likely put in quite a bit of effort and uses quite a bit of forethought and planning in that. Now, here's your next move. Check this out. It's the bear. So the bear, to me, is like stable. The bear is stable, and the bear has a den. The bear has a home. The bear may kind of like wander around, right? But come the end of the season, the bear goes into the den. The bear gets like settles down. So that could even be a message here. Like for some of you, this could even be sort of, maybe not even the metaphor of this travel. Like maybe some of you have been between homes or between jobs. And this is like, so your next move here should be about like some sort of really foundational grounding. Could also be taking on, particularly if you happen to be a masculine coming to this reading, it could also be like taking on some sort of archetype here of like a father, a husband, a protector. Well, you do protect. Your hidden agenda is to protect. Maybe it's to take this up a notch. I don't know. Because that's really, yeah. But it does feel like your next move is a sense of stability where you haven't had it. I kind of want to say, like, so if this is somebody who, you know, it could be, it just kind of reminds me of where I worked years and years and years ago. There was a company, there was always like a different regional manager coming in. And they always came from the UK, because I worked for a company that was UK based anyways. I'm in Canada, but and they would come over, and they would come like, and they would stay for a period of time to reach certain budget goals or whatever, right? And then kind of get the promotion that they wanted to get. If you can go over to Canada and you can get this this branch functioning in an efficient way. But the problem is they always came with a UK mentality. And we were like, yeah, we don't fucking work that way here. So you could try something else, but that's not going to work. Yeah, I don't know. You tell me. Actually, from the UK, I got the impression that it was like, you just do what you do because it's for Queen, God, and country. And we're like, no, we do what we do because on the weekend we want a case of beer and we want a sub. So, it didn't work that way here. I thought it was really funny. But anyways, I was going, oh yeah. So they would come, they would get their promotion, and then they would leave. We would get a new one, right? And so, we always hear stories about them. Oh, they went back to the head office, and then they became like some sort of manager over there, and anyway. But so this is almost like maybe you're also too about to hit the peak of where you're really meant to stay, and just like flourish in that, flourish there. So this could even be like work-based for someone. Like you could have been working towards this and maybe like doing something like that, going to different branches and like getting the success or getting the promotions, getting the knowledge to apply and have the ability to understand and solve many different problems. I mean, I think because this is really, to me, this just really talks about, and this is where you are now. It's kind of like you can't wander around forever, but I guess you could. So, okay, tarot. It's interesting, no? Yeah, it's kind of an interesting energy. And maybe this is too. Like, you know, because, well, there is like a sense of, I said like loneliness and isolation was with that too. It's lonely at the top. That's the other thing here. But to be identified by many, but really not known, but known by very few. And maybe there's some very few here to kind of settle in with, is what this is guiding you to as well. Yeah, it's to take the time. It's to settle in with where, you know, yeah, people would really know you. Because there is a type, you know, you can feel completely alone and isolated in a group of people. If you don't relate to them, they don't understand you. You don't have similar goals or morals or whatever. Okay. Oh, the Eight of Wands coming out with the Traveler. There you go. Restless, independence, appraisal. So you could have also, like, I want to say, there's definitely like a lot of movement here. A lot of movement. This is somebody who moves around. This is somebody who is not in one place for very long. Okay, magnifier is who you really are. The Two of Wands. So you're projecting into the future. You really try to understand what your future is going to be. Or at least how you can best plan for it, you know, like plan for the worst, hope for the best kind of energy. I think you go a little bit beyond that. Well, although, yeah. You could also be someone who has, because there's something about your energy where I feel like, oh, don't go. Like, it's weird, right? Like, don't go. How do I stop them from going? And then I don't know, people's behavior could get a little bit weird. Like, oh, I thought we were friends. That's okay. Like, we'll keep touch. But no, where are you going? I gotta go now. Because you know how he's tied down, right? Like the way he's tied down. Okay, that's interesting. Some of you could be trying to release yourself from something that you're tied into. Oh, yes. Some of you could be. Your soul is just like, I am hopping here. I need to get out. I need to get moving. I've been tied down too long. Well, then why does the Bear come in as your next move? Also, wait, there's something here. There's something that you are trying to understand very carefully. What limits you, or what? It could even be a legal agreement or something like that. Balloon. How most people perceive you. The balloon. The Ace of Pentacles. Yes, look at you, accomplishing things. Seeing opportunities, too, where other people don't see them. It could be a bit of, a little bit ahead of your time. A little bit ahead of your time where you may, I don't know, I'm hearing prospector, so that's interesting. But it's kind of like you may do something or go somewhere or create an idea of some sort, something that maybe hasn't been done before. And then you get an opportunity, like you get a pretty serious, solid opportunity. And people are like, how did you do that? How did you know that? You must see things a little bit differently, or you were seeing ahead here. How did you, you know? All right. Pearl, what most people misunderstand about, this is an isolation energy. The Five of Pentacles. Now, some of you, isolation is something that does come in with this energy. It's like totally from the start where, you know, identified by many, not known very well by most. So that's definitely there. But I kind of want to say some of you, your motivation here, like, I don't know if there's, perhaps you're protecting something. Your agenda here is to protect your harvest. You may have come from, and your sense of, there's two ways actually that this plays through for me. You may have come from a home where, you know, you could have been considered poor or impoverished in some way, or never had enough, and you've been working really, really hard to try to get yourself into a state and in a position where you don't have to worry about that. Others of you, you still may have come from like a stable or maybe even a wealthy family, and you don't want You don't want to go backwards. Like there's really something here about isolation and some type of motivation here to prevent you from being poor, from not having enough. There's a reason you've left something. That's the other thing here. There's a reason that people don't know why you've left something. Ah, my gosh. Because the image is, well, you just left. You're leaving, or you've left. Right? What did I say? It's almost like she was getting bothered. That's why she went. Oh, where's she going? I don't know. Why is she going? But now this card also represents femininity. And this is like a feminine energy. Affects your image. Feminine energy. There's something, okay, there's something really interesting about this energy, because even what I've described is something that could be like, you know, it could kind of teeter and verge onto bullying. For the most part, when little kids are kind of like a certain age, the physicality between boys and girls is not necessarily that different. But then once boys start getting bigger, there becomes a physical difference there that, I don't know, I've actually said it before in readings where, you know, women can be, and this can become very, very negative, but women can become, they can become very sly with their minds, okay? And a lot of times masculine will get, well, depending on what they use that for, okay? It can be, but I really do feel like it's something that is almost a DNA in there, because when you are smaller and physically less capable, and I say that in terms of like fighting, wrestling, like all of that stuff, there's a sense of needing to use your mind really well here, you know, and needing to see things in a way that other people don't. So I kind of want to say, whether you're masculine or feminine, I feel like there's a part of you that instinctively can identify a situation that is not conducive to your benefit, that's not conducive to, well, it's just not beneficial to you. Or you could see it going the wrong way. Like it's like the little inner feminine child within any and all of you. And it's there. I think women can understand it, because women are like this most of the time. Like we think about, would I go down there right now or not? Like you have to think like that. Where guys most of the time just do whatever the fuck they want. Just go most of the time. But women are always thinking that. Like, is this a safe place to walk? Is it okay to go here? There's something that's happened. I feel like that there's something that's happened that others aren't aware of. And it's why I don't know, why you are seen as leaving. I'm out of here. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't need to be belittled, because that's the other thing too. She's like, I don't need to be treated that way. I think I'm pretty. I like my hair. Right? Like she's going. It actually reminds me a little bit how, yeah, I think I had this little attitude when I was little, until this little boy, Jamie, decided he needed to knock me down a peg or two by insulting me all the time. And I would get mad at him. I would say, Jamie, that's not nice. And I think I did it one day, and I did this. And then all the time, he would make fun of me all the time. Doing that. Don't do that. That's not nice. And I was like, really like, and then I don't know. Anyways, I grew my hair back, and I'll do that now. I'm okay with it. But yeah, there's something about her little attitude here. So maybe people do see you with a little attitude. Like, well, you know what? That's not very good for me. I'm going the other way. The other way. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I kind of think that's cute. Y'all got a little inner girl there. Like, screw this. Okay. The Knight of Cups. How this affects your image. Leaving. Oh. Not invest. I kind of want to say this is, I'm not investing in that, and I'm chasing my heart's desires. I'm going to go do what I want to do. But also leaving, some of you Could be leaving any sort of, or walking away from any sort of romantic intentions towards people. Done with this shit. But you're protecting, you are protecting something, and you see more than most people are seeing in a situation. And now, what I'm reading here could be an actual situation that some of you are going through, like right now. So your soul's hidden agenda. There's that little girl all grown up. She's like, okay, I'm still strong. I'm still strong. So strength, courage, strength and courage to protect something here. Your harvest. To protect your harvest. To protect all the work that you've done. But now the bear. The bear. Oh, what the hell? The 10 of Wands. What should your next move be? I think some of you, okay, so this is really highlighting that. I think some of you have some type of desire to move, to do something here. And it could be to free yourself from something that you find yourself that's holding or tying you back. Could be something legal. Like some of you, this could be a lease. Could be a lease. Could be a job contract. Could be a marriage. It could be like a number of things that this is. Yeah, but your next move, I want to say, is to really release the burden. Oh, look at this. What is he do? Oh, it's almost like the wagon has broke. Oh my God. Right? He's the traveler's in this cart carriage thing. And then, but look, I don't know, something's happened to the cart, the carriage. So now he's carrying all of this. No, just leave it. Leave it and go. Or maybe the reason that the cart breaks down, because this is where you're supposed to establish yourself. Drop the need. Oh, look. Okay, if you know people really well, right? Like I find I can identify people by how they walk. Like everybody has a very distinct gait. So even if you see someone in the distance, you can't really make out their face. I know that person. You could tell by how they walk, right? You could tell like by people's voices who they are often enough as well. Even though this person's face is covered, right? And that's kind of bringing me back to that. You're easily identified by many, but few know you really well. It's to drop that burden. There is something, about dropping that burden. The Hanged Man, the Knight, what do we have here? Not so much. Yeah, it's all in the upright. So I heard 3. So 3 is 10 of Swords, Knight of Wands, Hanged Man. Wow. Wow, that's interesting. This almost feels like something bad happened. And then quickly taking yourself to an area where you could like really understand it. What went on? What happened? How was I betrayed? How did that all end? I just heard scapegoated. How did I get scapegoated? And then the desire to really see something for what it is. What's really going on? Interesting. Little attitude. She's doing her little attitude shuffle. Okay. I'm going to go do the extended. So that's what I see as you right now. That's what I see. Oh, wait. This underline's interesting. On the Lace of Destiny. Look at this. So you got 3 cards in the upright. Success. I love that. Like magic. Some type of magic. So it could even be some sort of manifestation. And then the Maze. Stranger. Stranger. Doesn't not even, like not really known very well. Maybe finding strangers in the maze. But the maze really, to me, kind of goes with the traveler here. Traveling through the maze. A stranger traveling through the maze. I don't know. All right, now I'm going to go to the extended. In the extended, I'm going to ask what you really need to know about yourself and what is your truest path. That's what I'm going to do. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.